Hi, I'm Mahalia and this is my interview video style assessment. I've been asked to answer 3 questions and my first question is: how have the lives of these animals changed in the past and what factors have driven these changes? I'm going to use the following concepts to address this. The first main change for tigers is that there has been a decrease in population, with approximately 3,500 left in the wild. Humans previously viewed their relationships with the tiger as prey, and as a result. Chinese culture assisted in the current endangerment of the tiger. The Chinese had a relationship with the tiger both as prey and for medicinal purposes, to the point of almost wiping the population in the 70s for the selling of skin and body parts. Relativism changed the tiger's status, however, with the Dalai Lama reconsidering the welfare of animals. The moral stance of the Dalai Lama led a cascade of protection acts due to others agreeing on this moral change as it came from an authoritative figure. The second change is the increase in the human knowledge about tigers, which meant that the law responded with the want for the welfare of this animal, with anti-poaching controls in various countries to ensure their survival. It is particularly important to note that there's been a decrease in tigers' captivity, which supports this. The last point is that there has been no change to the way humans view tigers as a threat. Tigers can cause more direct death than any other animal, mainly due to human movement in their territory. There is an overestimation on the dangerousness of the tiger, however, as they were previously viewed as a fearful species. Oman and Maneka suggested that this may be due to biophobia, as this fear is innate due to constant vulnerability to predators, and this fear also may be socially constructed. Okay, so the second question that I'd like to answer is: what is the future looking like for these animals and what might affect their future? I'll answer these using the following concepts. There is a very big issue that tigers may become extinct due to several reasons, in particular the Siberian tiger. The first thing affecting the future of the tiger is habitat destruction. Tigers require a large amount of space as they are territorial animals, and according to Linke et al., human population growth is affecting the amount of tigers' space to live in. The adaptation of tigers into new smaller environments is not plausible, as tigers are not often kept as pets due to an increased level of dopamine, which is part of the domestication gene. Tigers have biological constraints such as camouflage like long grass and snow. The removal of the animal environment for human benefit, e.g. housing or resource use, is forcing them to limit themselves in the environment, making them more vulnerable to extinction as they cannot function effectively. Gene variation is the second thing to affect the future of tigers. In situ conservation and modern scientific developments have assisted the tiger by assisting the reproduction of tigers with larger biodiversity in a protected and natural environment. Due to the use of tigers for resources for such a long period of time, though, humans have left tigers with a very small gene pool, making them susceptible to extinction due to disease and deformity. An example of this is a group of viruses causing distemper in Siberian tigers in 2009. The final issue affecting the tiger's future is poaching. Despite the change in Western culture recognising rationality in some animals and therefore providing them legal rights, according to the Wildlife Conservation Society, 20 to 30 tigers are still being poached each year due to the difference in cultural and historical values of the tiger in Eastern and Western cultures. Both welfare and abolitionist groups such as PETA argue against tiger poaching, as it both affects their future population and goes against current moral values. The video in the background is the WWF's final part of a mini-series about the damages of tiger poaching, a less harsh approach concerned with animal welfare compared to abolitionist groups. Okay, so now for my final question, which is: do these animals have rights? Why or why not? How would a utilitarian determine how they should be treated? How can we find out what their preferences are? And does this matter? I'm going to use the following psychological constructs to explain this. Modern deontology is an ethical approach which is suggested by Regan that states that all subjects of life have value and therefore deserve our respect due to their intrinsic value. Moral rights are generally stronger than legal rights, which both laws and welfare groups have reflected in their changing moral and cultural stance towards tigers. There has also been an increase in knowledge about the sentience or self-awareness of animals, and those animals possessing sentience having rights. Cultural importance stated that Buddhists believe that tigers were sentient also. Tigers have been shown to process emotion, making them important. A utilitarian aims to minimize consequences and maximize utility. Tigers protect the ecosystem by being obligate carnivores, and their resources are also replaceable. However, they represent a threat only due to human proximity, which can be changed. Removing this species would mainly change the ecosystem, thus the need to ensure they are protected. Rowland suggested that the nature of the species approach suggests that animals perform a number of behaviours in the natural environment in order to have good welfare. Even though entering their habitat could be dangerous, if you could identify behaviours that ensured tiger survival, such as hunting, then it could be a preference. Preference matters. If animals can't receive what they need the most, in particular endangered species like tigers, extinction may occur. It is important for the human race to provide the best they can. Thanks very much for listening to all my questions and answers. As you can see, I think that human-animal relationships are very important too.